And we did say we were expecting a superstar in the building.
Yes, we did.
And it's finally here.
He pulled up like a superstar too. Everybody ran outside like, what's going on? Because it was revving. We see he was doing the most.
Boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom,
so he pulled up
boom.
with his bike. It was like, who's that? Like a rockstar. Gucci, where's your own bike? Are you not supposed to be the rockstar?
Somewhere in the building. My back is somewhere. But of course, we have the leader of the revival here in the building. We have Ladipoe in the building.
Great to be back on Cool FM, #1 hit music station.
Birthday boy.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
I'm good,
man. I'm good. I'm having a great time.
How you feeling?
I feel good, man. I feel very grateful. I feel very ginger, very motivated. Happy to be here right now. Yeah, for sure.
You recently learned to ride. Why and how?
It's something I've always wanted to do for a while now. I remember when I used to race bumper cars, then I did quad bikes, and I've done jet skis, and I think motorcycles are just a natural progression. So.
What do you love about it?
More than anything, I like the fact that it's, you're just you and the road and your head. And I also like the fact that it's like moving chess pieces.
Okay.
Because this person is going to move to this spot, then you have to move to this spot, so I like the strategy. Yeah, riding is fun.
It is.
I know you're a rider.
I mean, I am, but you graduated before me, so I'm still learning.
Oh shit, I'm the odd one out now. So we played your song Hallelujah before we had started off this conversation. I saw a video of you talking about how you don't like the idea of dumbing down verses and you just know the kind of verses to put on different tracks. What sort of verse did you decide to go with for Hallelujah?
Hallelujah was introspective, I had to for me it's having a conversation with your younger self. Obviously since that can't really happen, you end up talking to the artists that are coming up behind you,
Yeah.
And giving them game, you're telling them what you're seeing, so that maybe they can make some adjustments.
Yeah.
And maybe they can reason things differently.
Yeah.
So really it was me kind of digging deep into what I've been through and what I'm going through right now. And put the truth out there into it. So yeah, I don't believe in dumbing down. You're right what the song is.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do with this song? And do you think that people are getting the point of the song?
That one is a whole different piece. What I'm trying to do with the song really is to kind of elevate. For me, I've always seen that marriage between rap music and Afrobeats music.
Yeah.
African rap, Nigerian rap music, and Nigerian Afrobeats. I've seen the marriage, and I've attempted to put them together so many times. This is just another way of me doing it. And also showcasing some two really, really dope artists. So more than anything, I'm trying to make that statement of the fact that, the artists are there, the willingness is there, the team is there, the music can never die. Nobody can tell me that this music is dead. So how are people getting it? That one is left to be seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
You've mentioned that you thought that Jai was going to be a hit song, and you also didn't expect Feeling to be a hit record, which it was. Why do you think Jai was not a hit according to the judgment of a lot of people? And why do you think Feeling was that hit? And with which trajectory do you think Hallelujah will get to?
I think that's one aspect of music that I have learned not to put any energy into. Assessing songs as whether they're hits or not. I think the best part, the thing I can do is put together the best song I can do.
Yeah.
And I learned that from Jai. I really felt Jai was a very, very, very special song. I thought it was me now, kind of putting something together that maybe that would appeal to a wider audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in its own way, it did really special things for me, but it didn't do what Feeling did. But to me, I've stopped predicting. I'm just doing.
Talk to us about putting the song together, from
Hallelujah.
Yes, Hallelujah, from inception, choosing the producers. You said that you like putting people on, and there's Morello and Roz on this particular record.
Yeah.
So how did you choose them? Why did you decide that they needed to be on the record?
This one was really special. This actually has come together in a way that music has never come together for me before. This is a record that was already done in a sense.
Okay.
The majority of the beat that you hear now, and then the hook. Nothing, I will go kill my vibe. And even Sitting in the Lungu, a variation of it was already done. Morella and Ross had this song, and then my manager brought this song to me. I said, he heard this record and he thinks it's really dope.
Okay.
And they wanted to work with me on the song. And I had an idea of why I wanted to take the song, what I wanted to do with it. So there's additional production, additional writing. I changed some of the things that they did and added my verses, and we built it into this amazing song. Shout out Sijo Bassi, who produced it. Femile, who brought more guitars. So they allowed me to take it to where I envisioned it. You know what I'm saying? And this is the first time I made music this way. But they're great writers. Everybody wrote their truth. Morello killed the hook and wrote the truth. Roz killed it. I wrote my own part, and we did amazing. I'm very proud of everybody.
I remember you mentioned that you need stories to be an artist. Otherwise, you're just a rapper. Break it down for me.
Gucci be knowing some things that I've said. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's where the connection comes from, you know? Like, that's how people connect, you know? Because when you're telling them, you know, little parables, little anecdotes, little stories from your own life or what you've seen and observed, you now realize, if you're lucky, there's millions, sometimes more than millions of people who really connect to that, or just thousands or just hundreds, but that connect to that message in your music. You know, I feel like there's something powerful about stories. I think human culture is built on stories. So yeah, sharing those stories in your music is like, that's the art form.
And speaking of stories, the line, we're looking for the 10%. So it seems like we need to start from the top. I'm the student of the hustle
that's used to breaking its laws.
20% at talent, apply with no remorse. Then there's 40%.
30% challenge of working harder than you are. Then 40%.
I'm feeling like Pastor Paul. So that's 90%.
Yeah.
Yes, we need the 10%. Well, what happened to that?
Everybody
yeah, what's happening with that?
You know, it's funny. I see that online that it's tight because I say it's not a lifestyle, it's a religion. But you know, that's one way to look at it. The way I looked at it when I wrote it was that, because I was thinking to myself, what am I going to say about the 10? And I realized that, you know, that 10%, you don't know. When you do this thing that we do, this risk, this dream, and I know you guys know, because there's a part of it that is passion. You can't account for everything. You put the talent in, you put the hard work in, you pray. Then there's a part of it that is completely out of your control. And to me, that's like the X factor. That's the 10%. Or you can just... That's how I look at it. Other people look at it like it's the 10% that you're in Nigeria now. You're going to give somebody finance.
Yeah.
So you can look at it like that too.
Yeah.
A couple $100 million on the penthouse and now I'm broke again. Did you spend $100 million on a penthouse and are now broke? Really?
I said a couple $100 million.
Yeah.
Motto.
So I mean, like, it's just once again me like telling like the people coming behind me, like, you know, I did this is off music, you know. I'm trying to like do things now, buy property, and the broke that I am now is not the broke that I was before, you know. So like it's been a journey.
So there's been a couple $100 million on the penthouse.
Yeah, that penthouse is not cheap.
Left to be seen. A lot of people love your rap style. I do too. If you could liken, do you watch football? Do you like football?
Yes, I do.
Or if you could liken your rap style to the trickery or flair of a football player, who would you be?
Wow, that's a really good question. I don't know, man. I feel like Igwe, Thierry Henry. The reason why is because Henry didn't just like to score goals. He likes to score goals a certain way. You know, sometimes pass into the back of the net, sometimes the top corner. I feel like for me, it's like, you know, these words, like I savor words, the pronunciation, the tone, the landing. Like I enjoy that stuff. So it's like, it's not just that it sounds good. It has to, you have to hear the words sweet. Not that the whole song is sweet. Every part of it has to be
The process.
The process has to be sweet, you know. So I feel
that's
like
interesting. Aren't you a Liverpool fan?
I'm a Liverpool fan, but I respect football.
And is loving Henry.
I don't know. I feel like there's a shot in there, especially the fact that you know, Liverpool, it looks like we might be out of the title.
But Henry is known for also his ego as well. Are you
egotistical?
Yes.
I don't think there's any rapper that doesn't have an ego. I think for sure, like, you know, you go into this thing and you need to believe yourself to go from one obstacle to the next, to go from one level to the next. And like I do, I believe in my abilities. And I don't think I have an unchecked ego, but I have an ego, and it's necessary to keep you afloat sometimes.
Yeah. You've had the opportunity to perform at different cities across Nigeria and of course abroad.
Yeah.
What city would you say gave you the most energy, that you love the atmosphere, you love the ginger in Nigeria?
In Nigeria.
Yes.
In Nigeria. Where have we gone now? That give us like the most love.
You tell us outside Nigeria too, but we want Nigeria as well.
East was crazy. Kaduna was mad. But I do Kaduna.
Did you perform in Benin? Have you performed in Benin before?
I feel like we've done yes, for Johnny Drill show, but not like a Ladipoe show. That's a very hard question, bro. Like the love has been actually pretty exciting, but I don't know what city.
Let me segue from that. So if that was hard to answer, what would you see from your back ends? Like, what city would be the strangest place that you think, how did my music get here?
I mean, internationally.
I love it though, but like, how did it happen?
I feel like it was Australia that really surprised us. Like when we traveled to Australia, we just like, yeah, no, they want to pay us to come, we'll go, but even if they don't know, we didn't expect that they knew our music.
Yeah.
So going there and hearing the music being sung back to you is crazy. So I think Australia is the one that really, really surprised me.
Okay.
Laddie, the last time you were here, I remember, I think I saw that interview, and you said the sooner you hit the milestone would have the body of work. Are you closer to that milestone now?
The body of work I'm really looking at this year. I feel like this is the year for me to give like that full meal to the lifelines. I mean, they've been patient. They've been beyond patience. They've been actually quite aggressive. But you know, like, I mean, it's almost ready. We're working on it, cooking. It's almost ready.
Do you have a timeline?
All I can say is maybe like Q3. I don't want to say too much, man, because you know people really
will hold you to it.
They hold you to your word out here. So look, I know do too much. Let me not say too much.
Let's talk about that tweet that caused chaos, right? I know, and this was interesting because it was your birthday as well, where all this was happening. In summary, it was about how hip hop is getting the hip hop is dead treatment, and now Afrobeat guys are getting the same. I'm not quoting you directly, but that's kind of like a summary, right? And then because of that, there was some percentages of people, WizkidFC as well, you know, who thought you were throwing shade, and then Wizkid came and responded as well, and then Don Jazzy cut it straight too, and all of it was just, you know, a little chaotic, right? So I want to know two things. Number one, how do you feel about that? And number two would be, because sometimes tweets are open to interpretation, especially without context or nuance, what was your intention behind that tweet? Like, what did you mean by what you tweeted?
I think it's easier for me to answer the second question first, which is what my intention was with the tweet. For me, I think Twitter or X is a funny place for me. I don't share so often on X. I have a very peculiar sense of humor, and I feel like sometimes, you know, it needs extra context, and X just doesn't give me that. Yeah. So, but I've been tweeting more recently, and to me, this was the whole P was a joke, really. Is like you said, hip-hop artists have been through this time when there was this false narrative of hip-hop is dead. It has been something that has been in the industry for years now, right? And now you're getting these same whispers about Afrobeats. Once again, I think they're just as ridiculous and as false as the time they were saying it for hip-hop is dead. Yeah. But it's like, okay, see, as we went through our own. Don't worry, this too shall pass for you guys. Okay. Afrobeats guys. You know, so it was more like a joke. Like, we went through ours, now you're going through yours. You know, and that was the joke. And funny enough, actually, if there's anybody who was kind of aimed at, is more aimed at like the audience or anybody who believes these narratives. Like, who are you to say any genre is dead? As long as the artists are alive and there are people wanting the music, then it's alive. And Afrobeats, where's the evidence that that's dead? Look at what we've been doing. So that was the whole intention behind the joke, and any other interpretation of it is really like something I didn't anticipate, because I know what I was thinking when I tweeted it. In fact, I tweeted it, I went to bed, woke up, saw chaos, expecting happy birthday messages. Yeah, drama. From all corners of the internet. So it was a wild day. It was a wild experience. How would I feel about it personally? I stand 10 toes on what I said. You know, I know what I was talking about. That doesn't change. How anybody interprets it, that's really how they feel. I feel like I know who I am. I know who I partner with, which is Maven, Jazzy. I know what they stand for. And like, for me, it's Twitter. That's one place where I don't put real emotions or take real emotions away. So can I be very, very honest? The first thing I felt was I was amused. So I was like, so this is where this tweet don't go reach. Yeah. Wow. Like, to get to this point.
What song plays on your headset while you're at the gym?
Man, I'm strange, man. Last time I was listening to Post Malone, bro. Like, what was I listening to? I was listening to, I can't remember. It was a Post Malone song, though. And then all the time I was listening to Tyler. Before that, I listened to my music. Yeah, it changes. It varies.
Back to back.
I was listening to Tony Montana. I really like that song. Tony.
I love it. I love it.
What?
What are your thoughts? This is a random question, but what are your thoughts on... because I feel like, in a weird way, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's some similarity between you and J. Cole, because sort of like, you know, sometimes you give this laid-back feel. So what are your thoughts on him apologizing after dropping a diss track?
Unprecedented, man. I don't think in the history of hip-hop music there's ever been like an apology like that. To be honest with you, I was in two minds, you know. One part of me is like, bro, hell no. Never ever that apologize like on words, especially after you've already gone and said something. It makes you come off like, then why say anything in the first place? But at the same time, I'll tell you one thing, man. I don't think I'm in that same, like, I feel like when you hit that legendary status, and there's only two other guys that can probably relate, that's Drake and Kendrick. You get to the point where you can make a decision to put your humanity or artistry or personality first before what everybody wants you to do or what the clout suggests, because that's views, or whatever he drops is views, is streams. But you decide to choose your humanity first. I think maybe it's when you get to legendary status that you can do that. Maybe that's why I can't relate, because it's like, for me, nah, man, I'm going all the way in. But I do believe personally that it's unprecedented for him to apologize. We've never seen that before. People don't like that. But it's also unprecedented to choose your humanity first. And I think that it's aged well. I think over the years we'll look back and say he made the right choice.
When you get fan mail or fan love on the DMs, does it still feel surreal, or you're like, enough of all of that?
No, man. I think for me that people, but the way they talk, you can tell that they're genuine. You can tell that this music has done something in their lives. When we went to Australia, the guy that booked us for the show, he described to us how running was an important part of his comeback. And that's why he had to get me for the show. So to me, like, those things, they keep you grounded and rooted. Yeah, for sure.
What else are you into that you like to do outside the music? Because a lot of times we spend so much time talking to artists about the music, but they're people as well. And, people have hobbies and other things that they like outside of their work and career and chosen path. So what else are you into outside of being a rapper?
That's actually a cool question, and it reminds me that I am, for so long, you give so much to this thing. I realize I don't have anything else that I do, and I'm so happy now that I'm now into biking. I'm into riding. I love doing that. I obviously love my video games. I really like to watch stuff. Like, I like watching films, series. I like to think about new worlds, and like video games, shows, books, they take me to new places. So that's something that's very big for me, what I'm saying? I used to like going on Twitter. But
not anymore.
I don't know. But yeah, definitely having a life outside it, and just being there for the family really as well.
Are we gonna be getting a video for Hallelujah?
That's a very good question. Maybe now you're listening, I'm joking. But that's the plan. Like, for me, it's always to give a visual first, push the music, and then now decide, okay, where do I want to take a video? So that's the kind of stuff, like, how because me, I'm an entrepreneur. I like to spend my money the right places, what I'm saying? I know that people think you're signed to a label and that's whatever they say, no, but in our label, it's like I choose the direction, and the direction I want to go is to watch the market and see, do I want to drop a video on this, or do I want to do it for the next song? Like, I kind of like plan like that, have a team around me.
All right.
You were recently filmed with Sarkodie, a couple of other artists. What were you guys doing?
Maglera, my boy from South Africa, was it? It was the Hennessy Cypher for Africa. So apparently the boy is representing Nigeria. So
nice.
It's gonna be fun. I can't wait till that drop.
Look at you, all cool.
Everywhere.
A quick one, another random question. I think around 2020, 2021, there was this phase where we had songs under 2 minutes, 1 minute, 45 seconds, generally from different artists in Nigeria.
Boy.
They called it the Indomie song. It was sweet and short, and I've noticed that on most of your records, they're always 3 minutes or more. Have you ever considered the possibility of, taking it back a little bit?
I think Shut It Down was my shortest song. Shut It Down was 2 minutes or something. For me, like, I have the ear, and I just arrange the music based on what feels good. The timeline is a byproduct of that. I don't really think to myself, I have to make a short song. Nah, if the short song needs to be short because the parts on it, I don't want to repeat them, then we'll do that. Man, I remember when I was making songs, it was like 5 minutes long, so I'm happy that I'm here now. But no, it's an ear thing. I just let the music lead.
All right.